the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the Blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's the team, down at St Andrews. We are all supporters of our team. We chanted Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the Blues. We love you, what more can we say? Let's hear you in the cup, singing our song, helping and sharing the load. It's worth the point at all when we sing together. We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the Blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have a team that's tops here at St Andrews. They will give us what we're longing for.
It's Monday night, 7:30. Here we go. Welcome to the Tilton Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports and, of course, M&A French Polishers, the Garage Company, and everybody else who likes to join in. Oh, lots to talk about this evening, plenty of doom and gloom around again, but three good substitutes that we normally get much from, so that's a blessing in disguise. Big night tomorrow, though, Fulham. Oh, my God, they're rampant. They're rampant. What can we possibly do? Good evening, the one and only Alan Watton.
Good evening, all.
Oh, I thought you were ignoring me then for a minute. Mark Adam.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
AKA Mr. Rogue, Mr. Sheen, Paul Hipkiss.
Evening, all.
I've literally only just got in through the door, so I'm a bit disorganised at the moment. Good evening to Mrs. Brown. And good evening from myself. Now, talk about protests next week. We're talking about Fulham tomorrow. We'll talk about the game on Saturday up at Preston. We'll talk about our owners. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about, because this show is for you, not for me, not for him, for him, or him. Yeah, questions, please. Right, I've only got one device on at the moment, so could somebody keep their eye on questions for me? Absolute gem. Yeah, just got back from Tamworth. It's really, really, really foggy up this way. It's probably the worst fog I've ever driven in. Probably down to 15 miles an hour in parts. So it took me 2 hours to get there and back, which should be, I don't know, 35-minute journey there, 35 minutes back. So, hey-ho. So, right, okay. So a draw against Preston, then an 86-minute wonder stroke, to be perfectly honest, because it... I couldn't see the game. I didn't watch the game. And then my telly broke, and then I haven't been able to record the game, so I haven't seen the game. So, Paul, if you've seen the game, talk us through the game.
I just wish we'd start games the way we finish them. You know, we tend to be having to come. You know, we go behind, and then it's all guns blazing to try and get back in the game. I wish we'd come out to the first whistle and go and start the game with all guns blazing and, you know, just show more ambition to win games rather than, you know, sort of like doing it when we go behind in games. But no, I thought we were worth the point in the end. Second half was a lot better. And I've got to give a special mention to Jordan James in midfield. He's getting better by the game. Every game he's getting better and better and better. And I think we might have a player on our hands there. I was really impressed with Mendy at the back. I think he's been, he looks like a solid signing. And Hernandez gives us that pace up front that we haven't had for a little while. You know, Dukovic, they look like they could form a partnership. But for me, you know, Scott Hogan, you get him in them positions and you give him the service, he'll score the goals. You know, and that's exactly what happened on Saturday. And it was a lovely ball in from Ryan Woods for him to sort of score a lovely diving header. But, you know, I just wish that we'd start games and just take a bit more of a gamble to try and beat teams, because we've got the players there to do it. And I think, obviously this window now is important to get the right players in, and hopefully Richards, when he comes into the fold, and if we can get Jordan Graham back and, get another striker in, and, if the recruitment's as good as what it's been that so far this season, I think overall there's only really been...
Sorry, my cat was attacking the second.
I thought I was talking to his wife then. Or wife to be.
Oh, Mr. Courtney, I forgot about you. Hello, mate. How you doing? Hey.
Oh, I just snuck you in the corner.
Sorry, the cat was scratching my settee.
He arrived late at the near post like Hogan. But yeah, no, I think overall the signings, last summer and this window so far look okay. They look good. The only one who's probably not been that good is Costello, isn't it? Who I believe is going back to Chelsea anyway to pick up another loan. So, if we can get the signings as good as what we've made so far this season, then, who knows what could happen for the last sort of third of the season. We could go on a decent little run. We've got the players there to do it. And for me, it looks like Mengi's going to be a massive signing, because he looks like he's got the potential to go right to the top to me. He looks like he's got... And he's trained with England seniors as well, hasn't he, before? And you can see why.
Sorry, jumping, Paul. It just seems funny that all the cries of, it's the year we go down and all this, they've all gone quiet now, haven't they?
Yeah, we ain't going down.
There's no way we'll go down. I mean, we'll probably finish where I think we'll finish roughly where we are. But I'll be gobsmacked if we go down with that squad.
No, I don't think we go down. But like I say, I think, we are where we are, and it is what it is. And I understand everyone's frustration with it, because it's gone on long enough now. It's about time that we took a different vision, and we sort of knew what on earth was going on down there, because it just looks like, from the outside looking in as well, when you go to St Andrews, it looks run down, doesn't it? The stadium, and it's just...
as I've said so many times, Paul, it's a filthy rat hole all the way around it and all, isn't it? The litter and the things dumped in the streets and one thing and all that. It's you go to places like Huddersfield, Bolton, Derby. I know that their grounds aren't in housing estates, but at least they're clean.
Yeah, but I think we've got the right man for the job in Bowyer. I believe in Bowyer, and I think and the on-field affairs, overall this season have not been that bad. We've made progress compared to where we was, but to get to that next sort of bracket up, if you like, and the next level, I look at teams up there that haven't spent any money, the likes of Huddersfield, QPR, Coventry have obviously had a season, and I think to myself, well, maybe that could be us one day, but I don't know. Will it? I think
Coventry are having a blinder, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are,
I think it could be us with Lee Bowyer at the helm, but I think we just need those one or two players, and we're definitely crying out for that creative midfield player, especially in the middle of the park, to get forward and create more chances for us. But I think if we can get Chong back before the end of the season, if Richards is good as well from Brighton when he comes in, then you never know. We could go on a little run.
Yeah, you never know. Like I say, we did it under Pep a couple of years ago. I mean, people slated Pep, but we went on that massive unbeaten run. We had the FA Cup 5th round at Leicester. We went on that massive run. Could happen again.
Yeah.
Don't write it off, But,
we've been in this position, this number of points, whatever, last 4 years, and what's happened is that we've stuttered. Especially January is always a bad month for us, and it's already started with Derby, right? The bottom three suddenly pick up. I mean, it's Rotherham last year; they suddenly burst. Okay, they had misfortune to have all them games called off, and it done them in the end. And we just stutter. And then suddenly you look at the table, instead of thinking, we're 8 points clear of them, you're only 3. And you've got to march. And it's suddenly and then we recover and get out of it. It really needs this month to not be like the usual, and we need some points from I know we've got a lot of hard games, but we need some points from this last fortnight of the month. And the other thing I was to say, Paul, about we don't get off to a quick start. Well, we've got a new team every week. They're looking at who's this new bloke? It's worse than when Barry Fly was in charge.
Yeah.
We literally go out with a new team now. The second half performance lifted my spirits too, because I was thinking, well, we don't know what this bloke's like, we don't know what that bloke's like, and so on and so forth. But they have actually got into the system, the style or whatever it is, quite quickly. Now, tomorrow night, if we can get that settled team, put the same team out again or near as, and put up a good performance, okay. If we got a point there, we'd bite their hands off, obviously. But I can remember us winning 6s and 7s away from home and coming home the next week and drawing 0-0 with Grimsby.
Yeah.
And this sort of thing. You're thinking, well, we could have saved one of those 7 from last week for this week. Now, I'm hoping, they've scored 13 goals in the last 2 games. They're going to draw a blank sometime.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we get on tomorrow night. I think, because I was getting worried a little bit that, it's reminding me of 2014 a little bit, losing key players like Sarkic and Sanderson and Chung and McGree. Yeah. There's 4 straight away that would have been in the starting 11. And you go back to 2014, we lost Lingard, Dan Burn, Bartley. There were 3 key players at the time, and we replaced them with Tyler Blackett. I think we had Albert Rushnak in, and we had players in that weren't in the same street as what had left. But it looks like Mengi is a solid replacement for Sanderson, and it looks like that Hernandez up front, could do a thing or two for us as well on the front foot. So hopefully Richards is a good signing, and if we get Chong back, then we'll be more of a threat going forward, won't we? We should be creating more chances.
The biggest credit for Mengi, Paul, is that nobody's really mentioned Sanderson afterwards.
No, exactly.
It's been a seamless, plug the gap.
Yeah.
Well, if you get Sanderson back, what a troop of centre halves we would have then. We should be rock solid if he comes back. I mean, it's not bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to say happy birthday to the lovely Lindsay. Many happy returns to Lindsay. Hope you're having a great day, and you're going to get rip-roaringly drunk later on, probably knowing you. She's as old as Linda.
No, Nick. 2 years younger, Nick. 2 years younger. We've told you before. Yeah, just the 2.
Yeah. Craig, what was your take on the game over the weekend then?
I think first half, first of all, they were lucky with their goal. It was deflection. Should have been in a position to get the shot in the first place. But, apart from that, there were 2 sides that were close to each other. And in fact, the league table doesn't really lie, does it? 2 very, very close teams.
Exactly.
Second half, we were the better team. We outplayed them, we outfought them. And in fact, that passion that we wanted that team to show, they put forward, and they gave us that little spark of thought of just maybe things could turn around. But Hernandez, when he was on the ball, considering he'd only just joined the club, you give him a few training sessions as we've got now, and I tell you what, he could be an absolute star. I saw an interview where they said he reminds him of these players that the Blues fans love because he picks up the ball, he dribbles with it, and he's not afraid to have a go. And to me, give him time, let him settle in. He's not been playing for Norwich, so let's see what's going on. But the fans were brilliant. They got behind them, and they've got to stick behind them now. We need to go forwards to Fulham. Bare no bones. Nobody's expecting us to go there and get a result. But for me, it's all focused for the weekend. Get it going the weekend. Massive.
If we can nick something tomorrow night, though, we can possibly just pick, because they're the ones that we want. Perhaps just at one point from, you know what I mean?
It's the kind of game. It's the kind of game tomorrow night that Blues go and win, isn't it? It's typical. Typical Blues to beat Fulham away and lose at home to Barnsley. That's exactly how we roll. That's how we roll for years, isn't it?
Yeah.
We always turn it on with the teams at the top.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But usually when you don't fancy us, we do well, and when we're favourites, we all usually end up losing, don't we, or drawing when we expect to win. But I think for me, what's short term, what's mouth-watering is Hogan and Djukovic up front and Hernandez in the 10 behind them. That could work, you know. That could work because that Hernandez, to me, looks like he's got a bit about him to make things, with his pace, running at players. You got Djukovic and Hogan as well with him. That could work, you know. That might be worth a try as well.
I watched his 2 goals against us a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
You have to say that the blokes that he was leaving for dead are still in our team. I won't name names, but, you know, I'm looking, I'm thinking, he looked like lightning. But then again, I looked at who he was looking like lightning compared to, and I'm thinking, oh dear, you know, they're still playing for us, and this bloke's 2 years ago has run them ragged. So hopefully, you know, he can do the same for us. I mean, I do like big forwards. You know, a bit sad that Anike has gone, because I saw him. I thought he's going to cause some trouble somewhere. You know, he might.
Yeah, definitely.
But this bloke is a similar player, except he's much better. He's much better.
Yeah, definitely. Be interesting to see what team he puts out tomorrow anyway. Like you say, if it's something like he started yesterday. But I've got to say, also, Joe Bellingham looks like he's got a bit about him, doesn't he? Well, obviously, he came on in the second half and he looked very good as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's getting up to speed, isn't he, now? He's had a couple of appearances, so hopefully he'll push on.
Yeah.
I loved his passion, you know, last weekend when he was coming up and firing the fans up, just like his brother did, you know, wave your arm.
The same food, yeah.
Yeah, you get that in the league, and with an attendance, though, obviously he's going to be better the weekend, right? We need St Andrews to be rocking. We need it to be loud. If he comes on and starts doing that, it's going to pump them back up. You know, we need to utilise some of that frustration that everybody's got and that pent-up frustration by making St Andrews a cauldron. Don't do stupid things. Don't throw tennis balls. Don't go on the pitch. You know, everybody's got a right to demonstrate, but don't do silly things.
Absolutely.
Back the two.
Linda said she likes a big forward too.
No, I think Linda's been on the drink, Chris.
Yeah, she said she likes a big forward too, Alan.
She's been on the drink, mate, without a doubt, because her anagram skills are off the wall. Happy birthday to the one and only Dom Kavanagh tomorrow, 55 years old. Hoping for a present from Blues at Fulham. Let's hope you get it. Gift wrap, buddy. Well, let's hope you do. Right, okay. Lindsay says it's a big one next year. I don't know what that means. Guys, I'm in my PJs with a glass of milk going to bed soon. She's definitely older than Linda.
Yeah,
He's definitely older than Linda. Oh, God, blimey.
Somebody,
Netflix.
we got a debate coming in here from Ryan William. Who's worse, Ferdinand Coley, Martin Latka, or Juan Castillo?
Pardon?
Coley.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mark.
Yeah.
Coley was, he was in a league of his own as a disaster. He was, I think
he'd be in our all-time worst 11 at right back, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You'd have Czech Endoy in the middle as well, wouldn't you? In midfield, you'd have to.
You'd have Breck Shea on the wing.
Yeah, and you'd have Ferdinand Coley. Sorry, what's his name? Carlos Costley up front.
Tyler
Blackett. Richard Kingston in goal.
Go with Richard Kingston in goal, yeah.
Be some team, wouldn't it?
Oh, it wouldn't be great if somebody gathered those together.
Tyler Blackett left back.
Yeah. I can't believe. I'm sorry, but I can't believe he made it the grade at Man United.
He played a lot of games for Reading, didn't he?
Played a few for Forest as well. Yeah.
For Forest, yeah. I mean,
he's in America now.
Is he?
Cincinnati, I think.
What, playing football or running the hot dog store?
He's working in Burger King.
Richard Hayler's butler.
yeah.
Mark Hoadley says Carl Richards up front. Anthony Garbutt is Trevor Aylott up front.
Trevor Aylott, yeah.
Aylott.
There's a few contenders.
Do you remember the comment? Councillor, what was his name? Wilkinson, the councillor. I was at a shareholders meeting, and they queried the purchase of Trevor Aylott. And Dave Mackay said, he's one of the best hold-up men in the business. And Wilkinson said, I know we're hard up, but I didn't know we was going to start robbing banks.
Gregory Beasley says, evening from Porthcawl, the home of Elvis, keep by time. I wonder if Elvis is his dog. I don't know. I wonder why he mentions Elvis every week.
Probably shook up. Probably all shook up anyway.
I actually had a lady the other day come to me, and we just got chatting. She was in perhaps, I would say, early 80s. And
I bet your age then, yeah.
About Linda's age.
Younger than Linda.
Lizzie. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And she just got chatting, and she said, I might come back later. And I, no, so she did. She came back later with like a little box, a flat box with, she opened it. There was like all tissue paper, and then one of those plastic pockets, and then more tissue paper. And inside it was a scarf which was worn by Elvis Presley in 1972, I think it was. And she allowed me to put it on my neck. And it was draped over you know when he used to give the scarf?
Yeah.
Certificate with it and everything. It's absolutely genuine. And I was like, whoa. I know it's not blues related, but, you know, sometimes you just, something just cheers you up in life, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Just sniff it.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanks, Gregory, for mentioning Elvis. Okay.
Can I just jump in with a get well soon message? For Chris Baker, who's a listener of the show. He said his dad up in Scotland, Boyd, Mr. Boyd Baker, is going through COVID at the moment. Get well soon from his son Chris. So keep it on, Mr. Baker, from all of us here.
And a happy belated birthday to Violet Stone. And Richard Haylor says, how did I know that he was his butler?
People are saying, where's our guest? Where's our guest? Anybody want to answer?
I'll answer for you. Unfortunately, our guest has been he's been held up because obviously he's into his coaching still, and two of the coaches that support him have unfortunately been taken down ill. So he's had to step in this evening, but he will be joining us again and has agreed a date in the near future. So he will still be joining us. Hopefully as well, you know, might be able to get a few more of the crazy gang on as well. That'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What, one of them being a hopeful?
Wow, let's just say two of them are pretty much signed, sealed. Just
what we're saying is, Craig, is our people are still talking to their people.
Yeah.
we're just agreeing those signing on fees at the moment. That's what it is, Nick.
Fees?
Yeah,
there's nothing in the budget for that.
We're at
so
the
Chris
point
is a signing off fee.
That'll do it.
Definitely.
Got wasabi peas and a badge.
Okay, the stadium, St Andrews, no longer called the Trillion Trophy Stadium. Thank goodness for that. What a debacle that was. We don't know who owns it. We don't know whether we own it. We don't know whether we own the club shop. We don't know whether we own the grass. I ain't got a clue what we own. I don't know what we don't own. Anybody know any information on when that stadium is going to be finished up? Now, I did see, Chris, I think somebody from ours put it on the other day, that work had begun.
Work has commenced, yes. Commenced midweek, I believe.
Absolute utter disgrace. Yeah. Sorry, but it is.
Like Christian,
for a championship football.
I don't know which day.
Football club with the name of Birmingham written on it. To have to close half its stadium to its supporters.
We've got to remember it was the Birmingham Council that said it, not us. They closed us down.
I know they closed us down, but you have a safety inspection every year.
Yeah.
How come advisories weren't given last year, the year before, or were they? And no one's acted on.
Yeah. I've been told by a source close to the club that they were warned. They said this isn't up to scratch. If you don't get it done next year, we're going to close you down. And they said, they said close it down.
Good.
They didn't mean half of it. I mean all of it. You know,
Right.
this isn't safe. So that's okay. That's a rumour, but it wouldn't surprise you, would it, if that was true?
Nothing surprised me with this lot. to be honest with you.
It'll all come out. It'll all come out in the next few days anyway.
Well, let's hope.
We've got a stadium that's half closed, but we can't fill it anyhow.
No.
If we could fill that stadium, then fair enough. I'm one of those people. I want it rocking. I want it bouncing all the time. Not to the point of falling down, but I want it bouncing. But we can't fill half of the stadium. So if we can't fill half of the stadium, why do we want to open the rest? We've got to attract people down there and build. You know, once the team starts building, let's build on that. Let's get these people back in. Get the kids back down there. And I think these things will happen, and I firmly believe we'll have the stands open before the end of the season. But at that point in time, we've then got to think about how we can get these fans back through the door, the disgruntled ones. You know, what's needed if we can't get new owners. Let's face it, you can't get new owners unless you've got somebody to buy. We all hear rumours about people wanting to buy, but nobody's come forwards and gone, I've got the money.
Craig, in your opinion, Craig, what can fan power actually genuinely do in this situation? Without take away any, I don't want no violence. So if you're contemplating that, just forget it. Don't even bother going, right? But what can we do as fans?
We need, and I'll put it in my little write-up, but we need to be down there to back the team to attract people to the club. Not distract them, because one silly thing, and I think it was actually, Alan, your article where you put in there, it only takes one bottle to be thrown, or one police person to be injured, and that's it. All that work is over and done with. We need to be down there to be loud, proud, to back the team, but also make sure they're aware that we're unhappy, and then get, you know, that attraction will come. And you might sound daft, but that might be the one thing that we're waiting for, is one person to hear, my God, those fans really do get behind them. You know, we've heard about it, but we haven't seen it. The day they see it might be the day that they go in and go, here's my piece of paper, this is how much I've got.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think the current owners genuinely believe that they've got a vision and, you know, what they're... I mean, nobody's got a clue what it is.
11 years of absolute desperation have gone past. They can't see that far in front of their own eyes, mate, I promise you.
Because they've been here 6, haven't they? Trillion trophy. They've been here since 2016.
And they haven't been transparent at any point.
No.
Communication's been awful.
You can't fight what you can't see. That's a problem, isn't it? You know. Who am I talking to? You know.
Yeah, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the meetings to see how what their agenda is and what their strategy is, and
there's a few heads I'd like to lay some maggots on and all.
You know, what exactly is their plan and what's their vision? That's what I want to know, because whatever they're doing hasn't been working, has it?
Don't you think, Paul, that you should know as a fan? I should know. Alan should know. Mark should know. Chris should know, and Craig should know, and everybody out there should know what the vision is for that business, right? For our football club. We should have clear understanding of what the future vision is with the owners that have got this football club.
I agree with you there, Nick. But
thank you.
But
in 11 years, mate.
But I mean, it's a relatively new thing, isn't it, for supporters to want to know who the company is that's building the stand and things like that. 30 years ago, we wanted to
see back in the day, didn't it? You'd never get any information.
But we didn't want to know 30, 40 years ago, did we?
We didn't all have mobile phones 34 years ago.
Exactly. So is it an overload of stuff? You know what I mean? That we don't really need.
Surely. You've got to use social media. You've got to embrace people. You've got to bring them on board. You've got to say, well, look, guys, we know that stadium, but by December the 10th or whatever it is going to be, whatever date it is going to be, we promise to have that stadium fixed, right? our absolute promise to you as supporters, because they were quick enough to take the season ticket money and then quick enough to shut it down afterwards. Not good enough.
That, though, for all we know, we might have had 5,000 or 6,000 fans out there that hadn't been for a while. Yeah. And with all the lockdowns and the pandemic, they might have thought, I can't wait to go back down the Blues now. Actually, I really appreciate, football and going to games after not being able to. Sometimes you want what you can't have, don't you? And when it comes back, we might have had another 5,000 or 6,000 fans that would have been on top of the gates that we would have got, that wouldn't have gone before the pandemic, if you know what I'm trying to say. And
yeah, definitely, Paul. And we all want what we can't have. I can't have a Ferrari unless it's a very small dinky toy about that big, right? I'd have one. It'd have to be a blue one. I wouldn't have a red one. Wouldn't entertain that. Sorry, no, thank you. And if you did get a red one, I'd have it resprayed at the local garage down here, mate. Don't you worry. And but we've lost through COVID 2 years of young generation football supporters. Yeah. Now we've lost another year through half of that stand being closed down, where the youngsters aren't and not coming through.
I mean, Steve Portman's just said here, season ticket sales increased. So they increased with the lower Cop and Tilton closed. So if they were open, who knows? I'm not saying we'd have filled it, but I'm saying we might have had a few more. You know what I mean? It just would have been nice for them to have the choice, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Somebody also mentioned, do you think it was because the stands were closed as to why people don't go? It's because they think it's not safe.
No, I mean, listen. It's safe enough to have the boxes open at the top where the executives pay all the money, where the big boys pay all the big dollar. So the stand was shut down, and yet all of the boxes across the top there were still open. Where the corporate money is coming from, this, that, and the other, they were perfectly safe. Don't worry, the stand falls down. You're only at the top, mate. You're only going to go all the way. Don't worry.
So,
you know what I mean?
So why can't we fill the seats we've got?
Because I think people are so damn disillusioned with what's going on down there, mate. I promise you. I really do. I think people are...
You might be right.
You know what, Chris? I actually haven't got the fire in my belly on a Saturday anymore. And I promise you that, mate. And that's the first time I've been able to say that in my life, ever. Apart from the Leeds riots.
Yeah, we've got all the ingredients. We've got the fan base. Obviously the second city, we're there, and for someone to come in and take it over and take it forward and get us back to where we all want to be, but it's just finding that person out there to come in and do it, isn't it? Yeah.
I guess that's another thing as well. Dave Twine says he knows people who have not gotten down because they cannot sit in their own seat.
Yeah, well, I'll put that one because I didn't go because I couldn't sit in my own seat a couple of times because I was given seats 10 times worse than the one I paid for.
Yeah. It's like Cash 20. It's like Cash 22, isn't it? Some people, like you say, have missed it, and other people are going to be out of the habit possibly forever.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. What's it said here? What was it? Right. One of the problems they have is people go down in small groups. They can't sit together. They won't go at all. 8, 10 blokes, or a family, or what have you. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm just off the scale angry. I'll be honest with you.
I look at that though and think to myself that those sort of comments fair enough, but is that because people are they can't sit where they want to? Is that because realistically do they want to go into the front of the Cop if it's absolutely hammering it down with rain, if they can sit towards the back or go in the Tilton, go in the railway, go further back? This is I understand that argument, I really do, and I was disgruntled when I couldn't sit in my seat at the beginning of the season, same as everybody else. But the one thing, just going back to what we were saying there about the owners and wanting to know what the owners are. If you knew realistically who owned the club, what difference would it make as a fan? Because for me,
it's not about who owns it. It's not about who owns it. It's like, right, the only real proper communication we get from the club, official communication, apart from the Twitter feeds, is the annual accounts, which they can't hide, right? Because they're not allowed to hide by law, right? And that's basically it. What I was saying earlier, Craig, is I want passion from a board. I want desire from a board. I want my board to say, come on, guys, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. We'll do it for you. But you come and do it for us as well, okay? Because it's called a team.
Yeah, leadership starts from the top.
Oh, yeah, and we do need people to come forward, right? I don't believe we'll ever hear from, like, the elusive Mr. King. We're never going to hear from him the lady that owns the ground. We're never going to hear from her. What you're going to hear from are those people that are employed by them, which is Edward and he's Craig. But then they're tied because they're employed by these people who are telling them, don't say anything. It's a catch-22. And it's, you know, for me, what I'm interested in is somebody buys the club, right? I don't care who it is, but have they got the money to then sustain and take the clubs forward?
Yeah.
So actually, I want to hear from the board. Have they got money?
Yeah. And these days you do need a lot of money.
Yeah. I actually believe they've got money. I believe there's money in the club. It's just that we've been in that much of a mess over the past, let's face it, let's take it back prior probably to the Redknapp time when he had his little overspend.
We'd take it back to 2011.
Yeah, we spent money that we shouldn't have done. And some of those players we brought in were on silly money and left 12 months later because actually they were there for a payout. They were there just to get...
What did Redknapp get? Was it 1.39 million?
1.75, wasn't it?
1.75 million? You've been in a job for 6 weeks. Man, did you get that? Please, can I be a football manager in my next life? My God, it's great. No wonder he lives in sandbags.
And it comes down again to the people that were in charge at that point in time. We are unfortunately still suffering the rent times.
That football is screwed from top to bottom. Who needs to earn the kind of wages these people earn at the top end, right? Come on. Really?
Oh, yeah. It's going crazy.
You don't need that kind of money, right? You don't have to go out and buy a new Ferrari every week and then have it spray blue at the local garage.
No, I think on the day of signings, though, you know, I mean, I don't know about, I can only speak for myself, but we'd signed the goalkeeper of the season in the Championship from the previous season in Stockdale. Hotter was voted the best player in the league. You know, we got Colin and Dean in from Brentford as well, who were all solid performers at this level. I think Colin and Dean, to be honest, overall, since they've been here, I mean, I know Dean's been up and down. I think Colin's been solidly consistent since we've signed him. And I think Roberts as well over the last 18 months has really improved as well.
He's improved, yeah.
And that was the majority of that sort of 15 million that we spent, wasn't it, at that time? The rest of it was freebies and loans. But I don't know, Redknapp wasn't really given any time to make any difference, was he? He was sacked, in my opinion, at the time, he was sacked too soon for whatever reason, really. And if all we got to replace him with was Steve Cottrell, then I rather would have had Harry Redknapp on Zoom than Steve Cottrell.
Yeah.
I've got Sonny with me.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just been a roller coaster ride since we sacked Rabbit, hasn't it? Really, from then to now, it's been a roller coaster.
Mate, it's been a roller coaster since 2000, since the Carling Cup final. That's when we started going down the top of that roller coaster. Well, it was, but then we had the euphoria of Birmingham City playing in Europe. My God, the heady days. I mean, last time we did that was against Cesena.
Yeah.
The Anglo-Italian Cup, if I remember right. Great.
Before that was a war.
Great calls coming in. Here we go. The boxes are sealed. That's been explained. I don't care if they're sealed or not. If they're on a safe stand, and they shouldn't really be used, should they? I know 2 people that have not gone down because they can't sit in their own seats. Yeah, I get that. After last season's COVID, this is from Ray. Last season's end, COVID, lockdown, and Lee Bowie kept us up. The euphoria of Troy signing, and then the club shoot themselves in the foot with the stands. Very little communication, and it's not good enough. Steve Portman says the officers' boxes are upper and lower blocks are separate structures. Okay, I'll get that, man. If that's the case, I didn't know, I promise you. But then Steve Portman also said just a little bit earlier, it's a lifetime remembering how our beautiful disabled supporters get treated. When I went down to Cardiff a year or so ago, and Auntie Linda gave me my poncho, which I've still got. It's in my museum, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And the wind and the rain was coming in sideways. Me, right? I could walk up the stairs. And I look in front of me, 20, 30 of our disabled supporters sat there in the freezing cold. Surely any football club with anything about them should build a little indoor area. It doesn't have to be an executive box. but put them a kettle in there so they can have a cup of tea and treat them like humans.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah.
Interesting comment from Stephen Gell here. Yes, we want new owners, but they need to be the right people. And as he's put it, I don't trust the EFL to get them in with their history. And that I cannot echo anymore.
No.
Because the EFL, and, you know, we're hearing it at the moment with Derby. Right? Derby and their owners, they should never have been in that position. The EFL crossed them off and said, yes, you can come and do it. Birmingham, they've done exactly the same. And there are other clubs that have no longer got a history where this has happened. And it's not always just about the owners of the clubs and the people coming in, but actually the competition in the first place. The EFL also need to be held accountable for some of those things that have happened. I can't see that happening any time in the near future. But actually, perhaps if somebody was to look at that area, as they did with the Premier League, then there could be changes that would be a huge positive to everyone.
I can tell you something, right? I live just up the road from Derby, right? I drink in the pubs here with Derby fans, yeah? I tell them I'm really, really sorry that this has happened to your football club. I know it happened to ours, but like they've been double whammied with 21 points. Okay, they're off the bottom now, and we've got them very soon as well, by the way. And I say, what about the EFL? What about the fit and proper persons test? It didn't happen in the case of Carson Young, where somebody like my son, who was a barber, can buy a football club for 82 million quid. And then we go through 11 years of absolute destruction. It's corrupt, it's wrong, and it needs stopping.
100%.
For Derby, for Blues, and for any other club, because the EFL think that they're above the law, and they shouldn't be.
I think for me, I think I quite agree with that. But you know, and I want change as much as the next person. But at the same time, there's always that risk. It could be even worse than what it is now. You know, you look at Wigan, Portsmouth, Derby, Bolton, all these clubs.
With the club that went out of business. Who was the club that went out of business, Paul?
Bury.
That old man with his flat cap crying his eyes out. I tell you what, good God. And then you've got Paul Pogba earning £500 billion a week. Football's corrupt. It's finished. I'll tell you what, I've almost finished with it, I'll be honest with you. And I mean it, because I feel so angry.
Saying that, but what a great gesture. I don't know how many people have seen this, by Crystal Palace with the FA Cup.
Oh, for the travel, for the Hartlepool game.
Absolutely brilliant. You know, Hartlepool, the journey, I think it works out to 5.5 hours from Hartlepool to the Palace Stadium, and they're footing half of the cost. I mean, that is absolutely brilliant.
Class. It's class. But that's the football family, Craig, sorry. That's the football family coming together. Right, I'm talking about, the step up, right? Not fit for purpose. End of.
I'd settle for an owner like Middlesbrough's, Steve Gibson, someone like that, someone, a good business person. Doesn't have to have billions and billions, 10 oil wells, just a bit of business sense.
Stable,
just to stabilise the club. But I think one good appointment, though, that they've made is Craig Gardner in that position. I think he's done a good job so far with the recruiting of the players. I've got to say that.
Definitely. Couldn't agree more, mate.
Craig's one of us, isn't he? I mean, he's a Blue, so whilst he's employed by the club, he's also got the club at heart. And I think that is that's the huge difference. It's what we are lacking throughout. And I saw somebody write the other day that actually go back 5-6 years and look at the way the club was structured then, when you had Julia Shelton there, you had Roger there.
Blue noses,
well.
Full of blue noses.
Blue noses. They moved the club. Now we don't have that. That was ultimately, they all went under rent. Nobody knows why. Was it because actually they knew how much he was doing wrong?
Craig, there's nothing I would like more, mate, for my museum than one wage slip with Birmingham City logo on it and my name on it. What? I can't play football, right? I'm 60 on Christmas Day. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but I was, and I could never play football as a child. If I went to kick it left, it'd go right. So it weren't my forte. It was my dream, as it is every child probably, but it ain't going to happen. And to say that I've actually worked for my football club would just be, I would be the proudest person ever. Even if I have to flip a burger for 20 minutes or something, I don't know, whatever. Just to have that
20 minutes? Be a bit overdone, wouldn't it?
One burger.
Well, I don't work by the hour. I'm very excited.
It's not McDonald's.
No, but you understand what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've worked for Birmingham City Football Club, my club. That passion, that desire, that love, that everything that you put into it, yeah. And like Craig said, it's wiped them all out. They've all gone. They've all gone. And
I'd do that for nothing, though, Nick. I'd turn up. I'd work at that club for
I'd
nothing.
pay them. I would pay them. I would pay them for my wage slip. I would pay them to get my name on a Birmingham City wage slip, right? My football logo and my name, mate. I tell you what, I'd give them the money. I wouldn't care in the slightest.
I was close to that. I had 2 interviews to be the manager of the club shop. Going back to 2007, 2008.
Yeah, but you think about that, Paul, right? And you go, I was the manager of Birmingham City.
Hey,
I was going to say that.
I was in management. I was in management at Birmingham City.
I had 2 interviews, and then
you
the club
look a bit like Jim Smith, actually, mate. To be honest with you.
And then the club was being taken over, obviously, not long after that. And the guy that was interviewing me obviously left the club, and then in the end, it never. I just decided to. I just stepped away. It never happened in the end.
The question, Paul. Are you glad you didn't?
Yes and no. It would have been interesting, but at the same time,
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, what a memento for my children to have and my grandchildren. Oh, my daddy worked for Birmingham City Football Club. My granddad worked for Birmingham City Football Club. That's my great granddad's wage slip there from Birmingham City Football Club. And do you know what? Even if it was only the one. Right?
Good comment from Nick Langston. He just said loads of jobs going behind the bar, Nick.
Yay! Yeah. Can you imagine me working behind the bar again?
Sober.
I'm gassed, by the way. I'm done. I've finished. So I've got my Tuesday nights back now. My Thursday nights. So,
I almost witnessed a fight behind the bar in the main stand. I was waiting to be served, and these 2 guys were going at each other and telling each other this, that, and the other, and the security bloke had to come and separate them from behind the bar.
So these were fans behind the bar.
This was in the boardroom.
No, the people working there, people working for the club. And I stood there for about 10 minutes watching it, and I said, and then eventually, one of them said to me, "Can I get you?" I said, "Well, I'll have a cup of tea, please." Just carried on. It was amazing, and I was thinking, what is it? If this was your first visit, what would you be thinking? It's a nut house.
What decade was this in?
Pardon?
What decade was it in?
What decade was one in? It was last week.
Last week. Man, I could have understood it.
I thought it was in the 70s.
No, it was last week.
I'm sorry, mate. You can't have 2 employees fighting at work.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, God. You know what?
I was at the event on Friday evening with Tony Coton, Mick Harford, Noel Blake, and Robert Hopkins, and they just made one comment across the whole night that resonated with everybody, and that was when they were in the team, people that played against them were scared of them.
Yeah.
But not just that, the people they played with were scared of them.
Yeah.
Because they just told them as it was, and if they didn't turn up, and it was Tony that said, there was one time we come into the dressing room and it was half time and they were absolutely dire. And they let rip. And they went out in the second half and they went on to win the game. And he said the difference was we all fought for each other.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment.
And that sentiment, Craig, what you were saying earlier about fans.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with players.
Turning up on the weekend and fighting for each other. Fighting for our cause. Fighting for our team and fighting for our future.
He said there was nothing.
I could be American president almost, couldn't I?
No.
Yeah, we do see it in spits and spurts, when we're sort of, down looking at relegation and, we pull it out the bag, don't we? But, and also when we go behind in games as well, I'll say it again, we pull it out the bag, don't we, sometimes to get back in the game. But it's, it's not very often we come from behind to win. We usually draw, don't we? But,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, collectively and individually, I think, there's a lot of work to be done with the team for the coaching staff, and hopefully we get the right signings. We could turn the corner, for the last part of the season.
We need that, like I say, we need that buzz back. I mean, like I say, walking up Digbeth on a match day now, everyone's just, you get like a buzz, their heads down, hands in the pocket.
Yep.
And even afterwards, even if we pull the draw out the bag, there's just no, it's just everyone's slouching off up Digbeth back out, and there's no buzz, there's no nothing. There's no like, I look forward to the next game.
The spirit is gone.
Yeah. It's
Do you
just
think
like,
is there any
Got to
chance?
go back home to the missus. The beer's flat. The boiler's broke.
Oh.
Is there any chance of the stands being open this season, or is it going to be next season?
I don't know, mate. And that's not for me to decide, Paul. It's for the club weekly, maybe once a week, maybe once a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, once a month. Update. Give us an update. Boom. That's where we are. That's exactly where we are right now. Right? The project managers are saying, well, I'll tell you what, here, I'll give you a great example, right? We've just had a really big Lidl built here. Right? Nothing to do with football, apart from the fact that it's on a parallel, right? Now, this Lidl,
I've been in there.
they assumed, right, that the leading road from Tesco's, they could just open up and use. Right, the project managers, so they built the Lidl, and it was supposed to open, I think, a year last Christmas. It opened about 2 months ago because Tesco's turned around and said, no, that's our road. You're not using it, mate. You can't join onto it. It's our land. They bought the property, and it's disjointed. That's disjointed from the top to the bottom. And that's how I feel my football club is, disjointed. Absolutely disjointed. And something has got to happen because, you know what, at 60 years old, and me, you and Linda, Chris, we're not going to be here, and well, certainly Alan, we're not going to be here that much longer.
Always look on the bright.
Just going to use me bucket.
Linda says,
we're not going to be here much longer, right? Give us the best you've got, please.
Exactly. Mark Andrew Adams, you need to get in the roost.
in the roost. Who said that?
Linda. Our friend Linda.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I must.
She probably wants to rub your beard.
Yes. She wants something.
Yeah.
And I bet it's not your money.
I've gone all glazed over
now. Nick says it's dead and depressing. I fear for Derby, really do. Can't see them surviving this. You know what? They're probably more.
Look at Derby. They are off the bottom. They have got the bit between their tails to get out of this mess.
5 games.
Do you know what? I hope and pray that they genuinely do. I really do. Right? Because it's never the fans' fault, but it's always the fans that hurt the most. Yeah. Always. Yeah. Owners will come and go. Right? Players will come and go. Managers will come and go. Right? 73, December, I stood at St Andrews. 73. How long was that ago, Chris?
A long time ago.
Is it 2 calculators worth?
49.
It's gotta be.
49 years ago, Nick.
Shut up, you.
Pound, shillings and pence, then, weren't we, as well?
Half of Auntie Linda's age, Nick. I mean, you've been going for half of Auntie Linda's age.
Yeah, but the thing is, Craig, right? When I first went, it was all black and white.
Somebody called Lee Spall on YouTube says,
swear this time round.
Don't you think we should do what Tottenham did and knock it down and start again?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the plan, Lee. I don't know. But I hope you're all right, brother. I don't know. Spoke to Al Mick yesterday. Spoke to Pat as well this weekend. So, yeah.
What about a Phoenix club?
What, a
Wouldn't be
pizza
the same,
cake?
would it?
We could all ride round on top of the double decker bus. Walkie-talkies.
Is this as Alan? Is this as bad as you've seen it, or was it worse in like the 80s when the gates were nearly locked?
It was worse. It was worse in the 80s.
It may have been, Alan, but I tell you what, the fans made a damn noise on a Saturday.
They did, and
6,000 of us.
We knew whose fault it was. You know, if it was a bad manager, bad chairman, bad whatever, we knew.
And a blonde bombshell.
I remember I told you that story about Trevor Aylott. Well, that was in the 80s. I was a shareholder. We went to a board meeting. You could have held it in a telephone box. And when the Kumars came, they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've sat in front of Mr. Kumar. I sat in front of Mr. Sullivan and asked him questions. Now I can't do that anymore because these people they don't have board meetings, do they?
Faceless.
Eh?
The faceless people.
Can I ask a serious question? If Blues ever did go under, hypothetically, and we did have a Phoenix club, would you feel the same about it, or would you just lose interest completely?
No, of course we wouldn't.
No. Right, start again, Mark. I missed the second part of that, buddy.
Yeah.
Say if Blues did go under, hypothetically, and we did have like a Phoenix club, would you, hand on heart, be able to get the same interest, or would you follow it?
Would Max and Paddy be there?
and of course we'd have to be called something else because
we'd replace them from K2, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
Max and Paddy.
I don't think I could, personally. I don't think I could. I think my interest.
You know what, Mark? I'm telling you, right? Because Alan will tell you, and Chris will tell you, because we're older slightly, that when we went through it in the 80s, we stuck with it, kid. We stuck with it. Do you know why? Because we care. Because we love. And we care, and we've got passion, right? I think it's because
in the back of our mind, we always knew that whatever happened, it'd still be there in some form or other. Yeah. You know, and it still will be now. It'll still be there. 20, 30 years from now, it'll still be here. Maybe not in the same form, but it'll still be here. It might be a park team, but, you know.
You're right about, when I said the 80s were worse, that's one thing that was always on your mind. This is only temporary.
Yeah.
The problem now is you're looking, and you look at Derby, you look at Bury, and Leeds did it, Coventry did it, and they suddenly find we're not talking about having a couple of years in the third division, then coming back. We could be in the fourth division, and next
I'm playing at Solihull Moors
fortnight's time, I'm going to see Bromley play Notts County. Notts County, one of the most famous football clubs in the world.
Yeah,
weren't they
in the conference?
Yeah, they were the founder
members, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what worries me. You know, if these people sell up and move on, and then someone else comes in that's worse, we could end up being even worse.
Can we, as somebody has mentioned on YouTube, Lee, see us playing at the Rico? Oh God.
No.
I would
God. No.
Oh.
I would definitely not go to. Wouldn't go to our games there. No chance.
Can I just say, as a Brummie living in Coventry, that'd be unbearable.
Yeah.
Be nice and easy for you though, Mark.
Yeah, walking distance, but nah. Oh God.
Is it not unbearable living in Coventry, Mark?
Hey?
Is it not unbearable just living in Coventry?
Oh,
I've got to talk quietly because Becca's listening.
No, you've got to talk quietly.
Man up.
Listening. The mayor's listening.
Man up.
How does anybody work that ring road out, mate? It's like, it could be on it for 9 days.
Oh, that ring road. Oh, my God, yeah. There's people still on it now from 1983.
I know.
Bloody hell. You get on it, you can't.
Are still on it from when they built it.
You get on it, you can't get off it.
Mind you, I'll tell you something though. I'm a hero around these parts because I can read and write.
Oh, well done, yeah.
Oh, you be careful who's listening, sunshine.
I know.
Gavin says that the Rico is soulless and Highfield Road was a proper ground. was a proper ground.
It was. You know what? I've had
I
some
loved it
proper
there.
days out at
Yeah,
Highfield Road.
it was great ground.
Me and my brother and Tim Spinnerton and Gamby and the other one, I can't remember his name, walking down the road. All of a sudden there was a gate launched towards us. A great big wooden gate launched towards us. Oh, it's Coventry.
Yeah,
There's a question.
They're
If
not
we, had
clever,
safe,
are they?
if we had safe standing at St Andrews, do you think it'd make a difference to the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Because now I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to get. We're not part of the trial, though, are we? Which is
No, we're not.
unfortunate.
No. It's not going to happen.
An opportunity to bring it back, and I think it's shown in some of the games that I've seen on the television that the atmosphere is better through the standing.
Yeah, it's happened at Chelsea, hasn't it, as well, last week?
Yeah, Chelsea, Man U,
Tottenham.
Man U is awful. Man U is one of the worst grounds for atmosphere.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't.
Right, they must be grateful at Man United though, because after you've travelled all the way out from London, they probably want to stand up for a bit, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
stand on the train, so they might as well stand up again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going back
I'd love to see.
that I was talking about earlier, guys.
Go on, Nick.
People have written, we're used to not having a choice for seating. We're used to having to be separated from our friends in the stands. This is everywhere, and some clubs are absolutely abysmal. People, these are human beings, guys.
Yeah. No.
And my friend, well, just sort it out.
I'd love to see
The cat's gone again.
standing, as long as they don't stand in front of me. Go behind the goal and jump about and do stuff, but don't do it in front of me. I mean, Paul will tell you, he moved his seat, didn't you, because people kept standing up.
Yeah, and that's when we were good, Alan, as well. So we stood
That's
up
when we
more.
were good, yeah.
What has happened to us all? What has happened? We've got old.
Paul McCarthy has raised a question. He's heard about a rumour of a stadium being built at Wastills for Elf Church. I think it's fair to say it's not a rumour.
That's for Elf Church.
It is for Elf Church.
Elf Church, yeah.
But if the Blues ladies or the younger parts of the Blues ladies are also going to be sharing it. But, you know, rumours are rumours. It'd never be anything for us, put it that way.
Yeah.
Not unless the Phoenix team was needed.
Yeah, I think it's about 2,000 there up to old.
Yeah.
10 very big, really.
Yeah.
2,000.
At least we've gone a week without hearing that rumour about the athletic stadium.
Oh, for God's sake, yeah.
You've mentioned it.
The people are still going on about that. We're
I
not.
don't sleep right now.
We're not going to Perry Bar.
I saw a picture of it the other day. It ain't a very good athletic stadium. It's not a football stadium.
No, it isn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's near the Walsall than it is Birmingham Town Centre.
Yeah.
Alan, I'm telling you now, mate, download a picture of the old St Andrews with that old asbestos shed at the back of it and the dirty toilets and everything. That's a proper football stadium, mate. Proper.
Yeah.
Wishy-washy people now. Sterilise my keyboard before I touch it, dear. We had a pedal running down our ankles when we was young, mate.
Them what days, lad?
I mean,
Chris still does, because
no other football ground was any different. You know,
No, that's right, yeah.
I went to all the grounds in those days, let alone these. And I remember going to Derby. Right? Me and my dad were in the cafe, and there was things dripping into our tea. And we looked up, and it was an upstairs toilet above us. And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
No, Alan, it wasn't disgusting. Do you know why it wasn't disgusting? Because you still drank your tea.
Yeah. But we did.
I didn't, because it never emptied. I kept taking a sip and it was filling up again.
Just getting yellower and yellower.
But we didn't really go there. We didn't go there for the football. We went there for the occasion, didn't we? We didn't go there for the culinary delights.
It's Mum and Dad owned that.
I don't know how
Molyneux was another tip.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what, Alan, I had an executive tour family who worked in the tyre industry in a good year. And they took us into the dressing room, and the crack in the bath was this And it was all filled with cement and God knows what else and product and this. And I'm thinking, I just want to get out of here. I'm going to catch something in a minute. It was horrible. One of the worst football days of my life ever.
Robert Caulfield wants to know, on another note, chaps, does anyone miss our lovely home glossy programmes? These new cheap recycled paper versions are terrible.
That's a great point.
Sorry, Mark, go on.
I was going to say, I don't buy them very often. I've brought the odd one or two this season, but they're like, it's like tissue paper. It's awful.
I haven't bought a programme there for years.
I'll have to buy one Saturday. I haven't noticed that yet.
Yeah.
I only used to buy it when I was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My routine was I'd have a programme every single week, right? And I've got boxes and boxes full of them in the old Birmingham City Museum down the road there. But I haven't now bought one for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got. We get them in. We get them every game. Like, I'll get one every game, and I agree.
I don't. I brought one. I brought one the first home game. I tend to buy one from an away game or a big cup game, but no, the home ones I don't buy anymore. It's storage as well. I got loads, so it's just I don't bother. But
it's not. I think we've all moved on from paper.
Yeah.
Some of the players we're linked with anyway. I've seen Anthony Knockhart and Alfie Mawson, who I think if we got both of them in.
I've just seen that one, Paul.
That would be again.
Knockhart would be brilliant. That'd be fantastic.
Knockhart would be brilliant. Knockhart would be off the scale brilliant.
Well,
sorry, Mark, quick question, Mark. What's the price of a programme nowadays?
£3. £3.
£3.50. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay, I've got in front of me a programme from 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Have a guess how much it was.
2010.
£3.
About £4.
70 pence.
£3.
£3.
Was it £3 then?
Yep,
We're doing well.
That was a mortgage back then.
I know, yeah. £3. Blues v Arsenal, by the way.
Great comment here from Lindsay. Like, we went to the Poacher's Hungry Horse in Preston on Saturday for breakfast before the game. The staff were absolutely amazing with all members of Accessi Blues. They went above and beyond. Jeremy was in his element.
Brilliant. Come on, Blues!
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. That's great, isn't it? Really good.
There was a great picture of him and Joe Bellingham, on Twitter.
I saw that, yeah, with Joe. Yeah. Excellent.
I saw that one, yeah.
Lee says, that's the problem. Talking about us. You're getting old, guys.
But having said that, whoever's written that is getting old at the same rate as we're getting old.
It's somebody called Lee. It's somebody called Lee Spall.
It all depends, right? It all depends whether you look like Linda and you look really old.
And rough.
And yeah.
Could be going for you.
You told me to say it.
I told you to be quiet.
Backtracking.
Apparently there are teams that issue just digital programs.
Yes, wasn't it Dundee United? Was it Dundee United in Scotland? I'm sure one of the Scottish teams do it.
They do
a digital program.
Oh right, okay. Yeah, that's okay, but yeah.
Part of it for some people, isn't it? Getting the program as well and collecting them and stuff, you know.
Yeah. I remember we had a French exchange student with us for 2 months. So I took him to Blues for an experience. It was against Middlesbrough on the Cop. We had to let him know gently where to go for when he noticed the trickle coming down the Cop from the back.
Well, not a trickle, Chris. That's a lie.
Him being the corrected ball.
It was Niagara, mate. I promise you.
Oh yeah. People coming down in rowboats.
How polite! How very polite. Brilliant.
Yep, it's all about the match day experience. 3 points help.
It is, and the experience starts the minute that you finish the last game and get home. You're still in that experience because whether you won, lost, or draw, you've got moods, you've got like this.
Yeah.
And then the
Nothing
next thing
about
you do,
it,
right, oh, come on, pick yourself up. People laugh, right? Come on. Okay, we're going to so-and-so next away. Right, boom. Right, let's go and get it organised. Da, 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 da. And then you're up there, and then you win away from home, and you're euphoric, and you come home and you even say hello to the missus.
On occasion.
Oh, don't push it, Nick.
Mark, why are you laughing?
No.
No. He can't say much because she's right next to him.
No, she's downstairs. I think.
Ah, that's right.
I haven't seen her for a while, to be honest. I wonder if
I wasn't talking about
She's probably listening downstairs.
I know.
It's got you on the living room.
But the whole mood of football, the win, the lose, the draw. You draw like we did the weekend, yeah, and we scored right late on. Boom, that's like a win when you're on the way home, isn't it? Yes, we got it. Right? When you get drubbed, you don't even talk to your own family for a week. You don't.
No.
You do. You go. A mere grunt you can have, and then when you've won, when you've won big, like we won the Carling Cup, man, I'll tell you what, boom, I was talking to everybody, random people in the streets. Hello, I'm a Birmingham City fan. We actually won something.
How many more players do we think we'll bring in this window now? Maybe 2 or 3, is it, do you reckon?
No,
one of which will be a striker, I'm sure.
Yeah. We've got to, yeah.
I reckon.
What if somebody said somebody said knockout and that's it? Would you take that?
I'd take knockout, yeah. I'd certainly take Mitrovic if we could, just rob him.
I'd love the kid
more than him.
I'd love the kid on loan from Man City, Liam Delap,
Yeah.
Rory Delap.
Yeah.
Is it Rory's cousin, is it?
His son. Rory's cousin. Rory's son. Was it Rory's son, yeah. Yeah. So get him on the end of them Roberts throw-ins.
Yeah.
There you go. Steve Portman, great comment. We all ask for various different things, but Barnsley is a great example of how fortunes can change.
Yes.
They're in the bottom 3 the one season, the top 6 the following, and now they're struggling to stay at the bottom 3 this year.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, isn't it? That's exactly what this division's all about. Prime example.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Blackburn. Who'd have had Blackburn?
Yeah.
Where they are.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what have they spent? They've sold their best player, haven't they? They've sold their best player. Yeah.
The big one for me, Mark, is who would have had Coventry where they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because they've been run badly as well, Blackburn, haven't they? By them Venkis.
The Venkis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had protests and everything.
Yeah.
And they're flying.
Yeah.
So
before we go to last 15, we need to mention next week's show. Craig, we've got a bit of a special next week.
So it is a bit of a special next week. So we've got the as mentioned last week, we've got the Blues Trust joining us for a bit of a Q&A session. Now it's going to be should we say, a no holds barred type of conversation where we want to hear from you, the listeners, the fans, around what's going on. We'll also hear from the Trust in regards to the work that they have been doing and some of the areas that they're looking to take forwards. But also, earlier on in the week, in fact, back end of last week, we saw a lot of social media activity from a certain Ian Danter. And he very much is of the same opinion as us as fans. We need to sort things out or we need new owners. So Ian is also going to be joining us on the show next week to
Is Zoom or is he coming into the studio, kid?
He'll be on Zoom.
Oh, shame. I used to deliver papers to his dad's house in the back of the newspapers, yeah.
Excellent.
Blues Trust on Zoom as well, Craig.
No, they're coming in. They're coming in.
Right, I'll do my best to get over, Chris.
Okay, yeah, fine, yeah. No, they're coming into the studio. I've told them I've got nuts. So Cliff's quite interested in. Cliff's quite interested in my nuts.
Zoom, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I'll Zoom.
Yeah, okay.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Not bloody wasabi nuts, I hope. Oh my God, you're such an entertainer, aren't you, Chris Brown?
Yeah. We have put the invite out to other guests who may or may not.
Their people are talking to our people, but so we'll have to wait and see. But dance is a big look. Dance is a national radio broadcaster for football, right? That's a big pull, yeah.
Big Blues fan.
And do you know what? I find that bloke every time I've spoken to him incredibly straight and honest. Never pulled a punch, right? Never. Oh, I've got to hide behind that because I'm the media. He'll give it. He'll give it as it is. Dance will give it as it is. I promise.
He's passionate. Yeah.
Into the last 15 minutes we go, my lovelies. I'm going to think about tradesmen this week. I don't know why that's coming to my head. Anything to do with plumbing. Anything to do with plumbing.
Okay, so we're not going to do the one we talked about in rehearsal then.
No. Too risque. Anything to do with plumbing.
I had about 15 ready for the other one.
I'll start off with Screw Alexander.
Mark? Sorry, do you know why I've mentioned that, Mark? My first job, I was a plumber. My first job.
Well, yeah.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was 16 years old. I just left school, and I got a job as a plumber's mate.
What am I doing?
Hang on.
Joking somewhere.
We drove to the house where we were going to be plumbering and plumber's matering. Right? And he said, right, come on then, up the loft. I said, what about up? Well, I didn't realise it was part of the loft. I'm 16, wet through, thin as this, you know what I mean? Right? And he says, oh, yeah, we've got to do all this. I said, the spider's up there, mate. That's my first job lasted 17 minutes. I'm out, mate. I was gone.
I can believe that, actually.
I gave up, I promise you. No way am I going up a loft. No thank you, sir.
Ivor Spanner. Ivor Spanner.
Oh, Nick Pipe. Lee Damp.
Sam Balcock.
Lindsay should be in bed now drinking the milk. Chris Bucket Brown.
Yeah.
Some people are saying.
Shh, we can't say Nicky Bucket Plunger.
Sorry, some people are saying that Martin O'Connor's been appointed our loan manager.
Saw that, yeah, saw that. I didn't know we had a loan manager.
O'Connor.
A loan manager. I know the Halifax have got one.
I'm just checking, and there's nothing on the website, so I think it might be a while. Oh no, it is. There we go. Really? So he has been officially announced as the club's loan manager.
Who are we talking about?
Martin O'Connor.
Oh, what a hero!
What a guy to have on board, yeah.
He must be the first club in the world to have a loan manager.
You've got to be.
Can you fix me up with a mortgage?
There's hope for us yet. Toilet roll manager.
We've got Martin Drainer.
Does that mean he'll only be looking for loan then? He'll only be looking for players?
That's what I was thinking, yeah. That doesn't send out a good sign, does it really?
I mean, he's a great bloke and a great
he's brilliant. You want him at the club.
Any role in the club for Martin O'Connor.
He's a lovely man as well. Really, really nice gentleman. Kevin Drinkwater. We've got Sis Turner.
Ken Leake.
Lou Mackay.
Adam Bogdan. Tap Jennings. That's Pat spelled backwards. Tap Jennings. Do you know what? That's actually quite clever, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ray Hopro. Hold on.
He's quite clever, Ray.
Yeah, he is.
I know you wouldn't think it looking at him, but no, he's quite clever.
Got to be clever. He holds his own stand-up.
I know.
I'm going to Curtis one out.
Having a read of this now, I can see that his role is going to be producing young players for the first team and creating that pathway, as well as sort of like getting them out on loan. So it's kind of like to do with within the academy and getting loan moves for the academy players that haven't made first team and helping with their progression. So he's perfect for that, isn't he?
Brilliant.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah. That's fantastic. That is.
Did anyone see Kevin Phillips become the manager of South Shields?
South Shields.
Oh yeah.
Bizarre one, wasn't it?
Good to see him back in the game, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
How old is he? 48, is it?
48. Yeah.
Yeah, 48. Yeah. Brilliant.
I can't believe this has come through. You ready? Hotter tap water. Tap water. Oh, you've had too much time on your hands. Here we go. Leak Town.
Newtown. Can I have Kevin Sinkwater?
You can have
What about Martin? What about Martin Dranger?
Oh, yeah.
yes,
That's good.
Dealey had a toilet bowler. I'll take them all, mate. I'll take them all.
Mr. Floor.
I do like that. I do like that, Brett. I do like that. Who's believers? Oh, God.
What about Bill Armitage Shanksley?
That's a good one, Mark. Is it?
You know what?
That's not bad for you.
I now officially hate you because I know that Armitage Shanks is just up the road from me. I was going,
yeah.
What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? I thought of it earlier. I know you've broken me as a person.
Sorry.
Thanks to Armitage Shanks, I used to say. Yeah.
Gary Spray.
Yeah, Nick. Urinal Messi.
Oh.
That's a good one, isn't it, Basin?
Overflowing Martin.
What is it?
Overflowing.
Oh.
Oh no, that's making my cheeks hurt. Martin called tap was very dry.
Lou Macari.
Oh
Yeah, Leroy Macari. Heat or enough?
Chet Pelton-Doy. Why does Hotter and Jack and Doyle come into it every single?
What about Daly had a boiler?
Daly had a boiler. I do like urinal Rennie. That's good.
That's a good one.
And Radiator Jolly.
You know what, guys? I tell you now. I promise you, I lived the last 15 minutes on a Monday night because. Oh my God! It's not just funny, right? It's the intelligence of people's minds thinking.
I know. You wouldn't believe that, Blues fans.
Yeah.
Shows how good I am at this. Someone's just come to me.
Oi. Come on, Chairman.
Stern John.
Oh, he comes out with one every 4 months.
15 minutes for that.
I'll rename my toilet John, actually, Alan, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. So when I go into work, I can tell everybody that I've been to the John all week instead of the gym.
Okay, should we go to predictions for tomorrow? And Saturday?
I'm going to go 1-3. 3-1 to pull on. I can't see us getting anything from there.
Paul?
I'm going to say, sorry.
1-1. 1-1.
Go on, Mark.
I'm going to say 2-0 Fulham, sadly.
Craig?
Sorry. Somebody just written right on Messi.
How far behind?
You're right on Messi. I'm sorry, but that is the winner at the minute.
That was an hour ago.
You've got 6 minutes. I'm absolutely crying. You're right on Messi. Who did that?
Where's the mute button?
Oh,
Where's the mute button?
No. You're right on Messi. Brett Stanley. You're right on Messi. Oh, my God.
Craig?
Yeah, great. You know, we might show up shop. So, 0-0.
Sorry, Craig. I'm sorry. Lou Roll McCartney.
0-0.
Lou Roll McCartney.
0-0.
That was about an hour ago.
They've
Go on, Alan.
their goals in advance.
0-0.
0-0 right already.
0-0, yeah.
I'm going to go. Okay, so
I'm
going to.
all unnecessary.
Okay,
I won't read any more.
All right,
I promise.
What are the odds on a sneaky 1-0 win?
Chris,
That one from Michael Woods is the best one, but you can't say it.
Which one is it?
The tears are literally running down my eyes.
Got all
Oh, Nick, you haven't seen Mike's yet. When you do, you're going to be crying.
Yeah, Ian Flush instead of Ian Rush.
What was his name?
Michael Woods.
Glasses on properly.
Searching for it now. 2-3 to the Blues. Was that not it?
Yeah. I think he's probably looking at last week's.
I promise you that the tears are absolutely rolling down my face at the minute, mate. I'll tell you. It just amazed me every single week. I come up with something so stupid and random. You've blown the head off.
Tor Andre Overflow. That was a good one as well.
That's the one.
Colin Rod.
Colin Rod.
Colin Rod.
Christian Pedestal.
Oh,
Quick predictions then for. Oh, there we go. He's caught up now.
He's found it.
He's found it.
Look at that,
Mr. Floor.
I can't read that. I promise I can't read that.
Okay, Saturday predictions.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go around the room. Paul.
At home. 2-1 Blues.
You want to lose, Mark?
1-0 Blues.
Sorry, Paul, hang on. Art. Do you think we're actually going to win that tomorrow night?
Oh, I said 1-1.
Oh, I thought you said
We're
2-1 to Blues.
No, we're talking about Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, right. There you are.
Okay, Craig.
2-0 Blues.
No, Blues. Alan.
Mr. Bob.
1-0.
Yeah.
Blues.
Yeah.
Yep, I was going to go for a 1-0 Blues as well. Nick.
Pedestal.
No. I'm waiting for him to say, "Oh, Craig's joined us."
Yeah, evening, Craig.
Yeah, good evening, Craig.
Tory Andrew.
You could have new programs. They're a bit naff, aren't they, compared to previous Johnny?
Yeah.
And as for the EFL,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Ian Flush.
Has Carson Young gone yet?
We've got Ian Flush.
predictions for the Maribor game.
Here's one for you. You ready for this? Water panty. Oh, you didn't like that one.
Yeah.
So Steve Carter's going 3-0 Fulham. I can't see us get anything from tomorrow night's game. I'll be honest with you. I can't. But you know what? If it is that we can just nick a draw, man, that would be massive. It would actually be.
It's time. It's time to say goodnight. Time to say
you know what? Chris,
it's time. It's time.
I got another one before you go. Bedpan Diani.
Bedpan.
Bedpan Diani.
Well done, Alan.
Oh,
I don't know.
Jeremy Bogerseat.
Nick, I know you've only just caught up, but now it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, I know, mate. I honestly, you've had me crying tonight, really proper. That's been brilliant. That was one of the best laughs I've had for a very long time. Or certainly, last time they've ever got the. This has been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by M&A
Wiley Polishing,
French Polishers,
Coffee Club,
our friends at the Garrison Coffee Company, and Image Cleaning, and your house place.
Sports.
And Boyle Sport. Oh, yeah, almost forgot that.
Oh, God, blimey.
Well, it's been a little bit sport for my 60th birthday, ladies and gents, and we really haven't had time to talk about this, but I got my new registration number for my car, and it's N for Nick, 888, sorry, Boyle Sports, because they used to sponsor the Blues, KRO. And my children clubbed together to buy me one hell of a watch. Thank you. Love you all. Bless you.
Noddy.
I think I'm going to have a 61st, Chris. What do you think?
Oh, I would, yeah. Usually comes about.
Let's do it.
Yeah, comes about 12 months after.
Right, okay. Good night.
is it on Christmas Day this year as well?
So what, sorry, mate?
Is it on Christmas Day this year as well?
I can't remember, to be honest with you, Alan. I'll have to have a look on my birth certificate. Mark Andrew Adams. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good week.
Good night.
Good night.
Talk about, winning, perhaps.
Good night.
Oh.
Are we doing it?
The one and only Mr. Sheen.
Evening. Good night. All.
Back in time.
Is everybody on drugs tonight?
Seriously, all over the place, like a pair of Mad Woman's knickers. Mr. Sheen, we'll do it again.
Yeah. Good night, all. Pleasure as always.
Oh, right. Is that it?
Yeah.
I was expecting a
Have a
crescendo.
good week. Let's go and get 6 points.
Yeah.
Mr. Sheen.
Good night.
Thanks for joining with us again tonight, mate. You're a star.
Pleasure as always.
Mate, what?
He's talking about me, isn't he?
It's falling apart.
Are you a plumber?
I'm going slightly mad.
I'm going to blast tonight again. Yeah, mate, Craig Courtney.
Woo, 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 woo. How are ya?
I mean, how are you?
Good night, all. Keep it on.
And keep the faith and keep the spirit and keep believing. Huh?
Go the passion in the right way.
Keep hoping and keep praying. I'm sure he's used that bucket more than once tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's the one and only Mr. Miss Brown.
Woo, woo.
Who have we got next week, mate?
It's the trust next. Oh, for God's sake, I give up. I give up.
Are you new here?
Good night, everybody.
Who am I? And from me, from Boys Sports, from M&E, French Polishers, and the Garrison Coffee Company. Good night, God bless. Take care. It's been a talk to you. It's been a blast.
Try a bit. Good night, Billy. Good night, Billy Bob. Good night, Bolly Bob. And we're off.